Hi everyone, welcome to Tom's Manshed. Okay, today's video is going to be on some of the parts I have printed on the 3D printer for the 3D printer. Just some like extra storage drawers, cable clips, some other stuff. Some of it is cosmetic, like this screen cover that covers a bezel. Some of it has got a use, like this fan baffle. I'll be going into them shortly. Now, I was going to make this video on just on various things that I've printed on the machine, but I now realise that I've printed so much stuff. I've only had it 3 months, but I've printed absolutely tons and tons of stuff. Most of it are like superhero figurines. Now, I also have a CR10 that I've had about 3 years now, and I've printed loads of stuff on that. I got out of the hobby for about a year, got doing other things. The novelty wore off a bit and I got doing other things, and then I got the bug again and I've started again. So I'm going to split into 2 videos. Just this one is just on the parts I have printed for the CR6, because I've been requested that people have noticed in some of my other videos the extra parts I've printed and what they are. So I'm going to run through them very shortly, take you over to the printer and video that. And I'm going to give a full list in the description of all the parts you will see that I've printed for it. Now, there are some that I did. I also did them all in the same colour. I picked this silky gold, which I thought looked quite good, contrasted with the black. So when you're doing it, just pick the colour of your choice. Do them multicoloured if you like, but I've seen them in white and red and that. I think they look good. I think the add-ons improve the looks. If you don't, you don't have to do them. I'll tell you, straight out of the box, stock, the printer is fine. It's noisy fan, so I did the fan upgrade. You can check that up here on how to make it a lot quieter. And none of these parts are needed, but quite a few of them do improve the function and keep the cables out of the way and things like that. Now, one part I did like the look of was this support chain for the ribbon cable at the back, but I never actually fitted this because when I came to do it, I couldn't work out how it attached at the top end or the bottom, and it's not in a direct line. It's like over, you know, it needs to be sort of skewed like that, and I couldn't get it properly to go in, so I didn't bother with that. And I've used the one at the back, of vertical clip, which is a lot simpler and does a great job. So yeah, I was going to involve loads and loads of other prints, but I know that's going to take up a video all itself, so I'll do that in a separate video. But this is the sort of thing I'm going to be putting in. I'm going to be doing a load more in there. Like I said, the things I've been printing recently are superhero figurines. My daughter, Nikki, loves painting, so I get them printed, sand them off, cover them with primer, and then I give them to Nikki, and she paints them. So here's one she did of Hellboy. That worked out okay. This is one she did of Spider-Man and Venom, that's his name. And things I've done, just put my glasses on here, on it. One of my favourite things I've done is this dice roller, which I absolutely love. I did it in multicolour print, and you can see the quality of the printing. It's absolutely fantastic, and you just novelty item, but it went really well. No supports needed. It took about 24 hours to print, but you can see all them holes and lines are intentional, but it came out really, really good. Now, probably the favourite thing I've ever printed, but I did this on the CR10, is this, the Liberator from the 70s TV series Blake's 7. So again, in my other video I'll be going into more detail on all of these. Now, included in this video, at the bottom of the list of parts I've added to it, are the fan covers, the covers for the power supply unit and the motherboard if you're doing the fan upgrade. So I've included them as well. One word of advice on them is I printed them in PLA first, but it's actually, as you'll know, PLA. These struts here are quite narrow, and it turned out I've had it on and off quite a few times, replacing the motherboard and things like that, and it is quite brittle. You can see it breaks off pretty easy. So I have now printed another one. I only had white PETG, but as you can see, that's a lot more flexible and it's a lot tougher. I could break it if I really tried, but them struts are a lot less prone to breakage. They flex a bit, which is fine, but so they're not as brittle as the PA. So if you're making these covers, I would definitely recommend them in PETG, not PLA. Like I said, I only had white PETG at the time. I've sent off for some black and some orange, but it doesn't really matter what colour they are. They're under the machine. So I'm waffling again, as usual. So let's go over to the machine now, and I'll show you some of these parts fitted and give a brief explanation of what each one does. So we'll start here with these legs I showed you on the intro. They're to raise the printer up because I have done the fan modification, fitting the silent fans. Check out my other video on them. Check the link above for that. I'll probably put a link at the end as well. Where I put silent fans, it's almost totally silent now, but you do need to raise the whole printer up to clear them extra depth boxes. So that's them. I did one here. Normally the printer would be shoved further over to the right, but I've got very limited worktop space here, so I've got mine over to the extreme left, and obviously that leg won't fit under this rubber pad supporting the spool, so I've just put it under that bit with a lump of rubber supporting it, and you can see it's solid now. That support arm's not under any strain. So like I said in the intro, some of these parts are cosmetic, some do have a purpose. So we'll start off with this one. These are like extra storage boxes you can print. And like I said, I'll be putting links to all these parts in the description. And on this one, you can pick either smooth sides or like a honeycomb design side, which I picked there. So that's one box goes on the left, sorry. And there's another one here. To fit this one, you remove the screen assembly, and then you shove the whole moulding for this back over the extrusion, and that holds it in place. And you've got these two extra storage boxes. I did the tops in the yellow and the drawer itself, which is there in black. And you've got like a nice ribbed front. Just got that in there, and in here at the moment I've just got these extra Allen keys. That's a proper set of Bondus Allen keys or hex keys, which I definitely recommend over the stock ones, particularly these with the stubby end on them as well. They're very handy for getting under the bed and adjusting the eccentric wheels. This is cosmetic, it's just a cover for the black screen. These strips here are extrusions that go in the aluminium, whatever you call it, this bit. Again, I think it looks nice. Bumblebee black and gold, but they also do have a purpose. They stop bits of stuff going inside these cutouts. So I've printed them there, and there's I think some at the back as well. There's a couple you can just see down there, so that's them. And yeah, travelling up, this one is a silencing shroud. It's held on with magnets, and it just covers the hot end cooling fan Although that, out of the two fans, this is the quieter one. This one on the side, which is the part cooling fan that blows air on the actual nozzle as the filament's coming out to cool the filament. That is the noisy one. That is the noisiest thing left on this printer. Now I've done the power supply and the motherboard silent conversion, and that covers it. The air goes in that gap there. So there's plenty of air getting to the fan. Doesn't restrict it in any way. Just holds on with magnets, and it does silence it slightly. Check out my other video on the replacement of the fans, where I measured it with a dB meter, and you can check how quieter that makes it there. This one here is purely cosmetic, and I've just held this on with some bits of double-sided tape. It just covers that QR code, makes it look a bit better. This one here is a cable clip that also holds the Bowden tube. Now, oh, I forgot to show you this one. This is the stock drawer, but with a printed insert. And as you'll know, you'll get a foam insert from New, which is pretty useless because it's hard to get the bits in. But with this one, it's great. It keeps everything in its place. I've got the nozzle cleaning needle there, and an extra long Allen key. I've got the stock Allen keys that came with it, the USB micro SD card reader, some spare nozzles, the scraper, the spanner goes in that slot, the other spanner goes in that slot, and the cutters. Some more cutters I've got from somewhere in there. I forget which came with the printer then, or them. And I did print these off. These went on over this ribbon cable here and clipped onto your Bowden cable. But I found I didn't really need them, and it was holding it a bit tight to the cable, so I found it was just best left like that, and not to even use the clips that come with it. This holds your cable really nice there and out of the way. And moving around the back, this one here is really handy. It's a combined ribbon cable holder, and it bridges this gap between the run-out sensor and the start of the extruder there. So you don't have to just push your cable through it and then try and get your fingers in there to guide it into the extruder. You just push the whole thing through, and the hole is accurately lined up. It clips in at the side there and holds your cable, and that was a really good addition in my opinion. And perhaps the most useful one is this one. Round the side, that just clips on at the bottom over the extrusion and holds your ribbon cable out of the way. Now, I may have shown you this on the intro, but I did do this as well. A proper, because I thought it looked great. And again, you can see the quality of the printing. It's really, really nice. And that was the idea. It goes at the back here and holds this ribbon, but like I said on the intro, I found it really hard. I couldn't work out how it connected up here, and it was at a funny angle. So that's that. The addition of the SD card reader here. Is in another video I've done. Check out that one. And I think that is all the parts I have done for it. One thing I almost forgot was this little one. I did that in red because that's PETG. I made one out of PLA, yellow, and it's such a small part that it broke, and the only PETG I had at the time was translucent red. So that's just a clip that helps hold in the ribbon cable clip there, because it has been known to come loose, that cable there. So that's just a little printable clip that shoves in and holds that in place. So the drawers have a use, the screen cover cosmetic, that cover cosmetic. This has some use, it quietens it slightly, but it looks good anyway. That has a use, that definitely has a use. And the clip there at the side, again, has a use. So yep, that's some of the parts I fitted. There's many more on Thingyverse, but I think that'll do me for now. So there you have it, all the parts on the printer. A lot will find all that contrasting gold bling, nauseating or whatever. I quite like it, and it's a personal choice. Pick the colour of your choice. If you don't like the bling look, just do it all in black and you'll hardly notice it. But some of them, like the cable sports, do serve a purpose. So they are worth adding. And there's tons and tons of extra add-ons. There's another drawer that goes on the side if you need even more storage capacity. Stuff like that I haven't bothered with. Just have a look on Thingyverse, do a search, and you'll find hundreds of items to print on there. Prusa, probably the most respected manufacturer in 3D printing. I would absolutely love a Prusa, but totally can't afford it. They have the best customer support out there, unlike Creality, and do make fantastic printers, but very expensive. Now, they print most of their plastic parts for their printers on the printers. They are 3D printed, the orange parts. So it just shows you can actually make a 3D printer on a 3D printer, apart from the metal bits. So I hope this has been of some use. Keep an eye out for that other video where I just go through all the things I've printed. It's just going to be a generic what you can print on a printer for people hoping to get into the hobby, and just showing some of the useful items and some of the cosmetic figurine type items I've printed. But as you'll know, it's great fun and a great hobby to get into. So I hope this has been of some use, and I will catch you for the next video very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.